Hey guys, today I just want to talk about the bigger picture and what actually matters in fitness. Too many times we focus on these little details and we forget about the major things that actually get us results. Too many times I get people asking about the fine details when they're not even focusing on the bigger picture yet. For example, white rice versus brown rice. How many meals in a day should I have? Fasted cardio. All these things may actually apply, but first you've got to be looking at the bigger picture of, how many carbs you're consuming in a day compared to what carb source it should come from, or how many calories you're eating a day rather than how many meals you should have a day. Those variables have way more impact on actually seeing results. Same as fasted cardio. Are you controlling your caloric intake and your cardiovascular fitness instead of just, should I do fasted cardio? And I'm like, well, what are you doing for your diet? I don't know. Well, how are you going to see results when creating a calorie deficit is the bigger picture? So if you're still eating too much food, it doesn't matter if you're burning fat in this cardio session, you're still eating too much food, so you're gaining weight. So that's where we're going to look at the bigger picture today and what things actually matter. So if we take a step back, the bigger picture in nutrition is consuming the right amount of calories for your goals and ensuring you're eating enough protein to either retain or build muscle mass. Because I don't think anybody's looking to lose muscle mass if you're watching my video right now. I'm sure you're looking to get leaner, get stronger, or build some muscle, all of which require an adequate protein intake every day. And the other thing is, if you're looking to lose weight, you need to eat less calories than you burn every day, and you're looking to gain weight, you need to be eating more calories than you burn every day. That's the bigger picture there. Not how many meals, not how many grams of protein in each meal, but those are the big picture that you have to address first. Then you can start looking at minute details. Now, when it comes to training, it's not about, what's the best new exercise for, or what's the best time of day to train, or should I do cardio or weights first. The bigger picture is you need to be doing the big fundamental movements and getting stronger at them, because simply you need to create a training stimulus to build muscle or to retain muscle. So let's quickly go retaining muscle while dieting. You need to make sure that you continue to provide the same amount of training stress that you have been doing before to ensure that when you're dieting, you're only losing fat, not muscle. If you start increasing your reps and dropping the weight down and the stimulus on your muscles drop, then your body goes, I no longer need the same amount of muscle mass, so you start losing it while dieting. So you don't need to change your training while dieting. If anything, you want to ensure that you're still lifting the same weights as you were, or as close to as possible while dieting, in order to retain that muscle mass in which you've worked hard for during your bulk. Now, when we're talking about building some new muscle mass, it's as simple as doing more than you ever have before. Now that can be 1 rep, 1 kilo, or 1 more set. That's simple. That all you need to do is stress your body more than you have last time. Now, tracking and having a program is far better for this, because too many people just go in and their goal is to become as sore as possible the next day. That's how they know they're good to work, is annihilate themselves. The problem with this is, muscle soreness doesn't really correlate to building muscle. Muscle soreness generally comes from doing a new exercise instead of actually building muscle or progressing. So a better way to do it is simply, if I go in and do 5 sets of 3 with bench press at 100 kilos, if next week I can do 5 sets of 4, or I can do, 5 sets of 3 with 105 kilos, that's more than last time. Awesome, I did enough, I can leave with that. Instead of killing my chest with another 10 more exercises, if I just did more than I did last week, that's enough to grow. Because remember, muscle growth happens at home when you're eating, recovering, eating that protein. That's when you actually recover, not while you're in the gym. That's when you're breaking down and making that stimulus to grow. So taking a step back, that bigger picture is getting in the gym, stimulating some muscle growth, getting out of the gym and consuming protein. That's the bigger picture of training and nutrition right there, is giving your body adequate stimulus. Because remember, let's look at this as a cellular point of view. If you're looking to build muscle, it's as simple as your cell needs to know that there's constantly an excess of energy. Because muscle tissue is expensive. Remember that. It takes energy. While I'm sitting here talking to you, my muscle tissue requires energy just to be alive and to be functioning. So if I'm not getting constant amount of energy for my body, and even an excess amount of energy for it to be in a favorable environment, it's not going to build muscle tissue, which requires even more energy. That just makes sense, right? If you don't have enough energy to survive, why would your body make that process even harder by putting muscle tissue on? That's why the most important factor when building muscle is consuming an excess amount of energy, because now you've given that stimulus to your body that there's enough energy to go ahead and build some muscle tissue. So that's step one. Again, then the building block of muscle tissue is protein. You've got to have enough protein to be able to build that muscle tissue. And if you've trained hard enough and done more than you have before, the stimulus is there for your body to build muscle. That's how simple it is when you take a step back. It's not about, shocking your muscle tissue with a new exercise or, drop sets till your lactic acid is building muscle. It's that simple. Your cell doesn't have a brain. It just knows that, if it's stimulated with enough stress, which is what weight training is stressing your muscle tissue, and there's enough building blocks of protein and calories around, it'll build and get stronger. Taking that step back, it gets so much simpler, just about doing more each time you get into the gym. And that's the same with nutrition. It's about, okay, just consuming enough calories and protein. Whatever food you want, like it doesn't matter if that comes from kangaroo, chicken breast, egg whites, vegan protein powder, or every now and then like a KFC burger. What matters is the total amount of calories and macronutrient ratios in a day fitting towards your goal to stimulate the right growth. Now, of course, 80% of the time I want that to be healthy foods, but step back. 20% of the time you can enjoy life. That's the bigger picture here. Everyone's too zoned in and focused. The same with is fasted cardio good? Fasted cardio is a great tool. If you're already in a calorie deficit, it will burn more fat in that session. But I go, let's take a step back here, like you should with everything before you jump into fitness. If you're controlling your calories and let's say eating 2,000 calories a day, and you're going to go to a fasted cardio session of 300 calories. Now, that means you're eating 2,000 calories and you burn 3,000 calories on that machine. So in a 24-hour period now, you've essentially only consumed 1,700 calories minus 300 calories deficit from cardio. Awesome, so you're going to be losing fat. But the thing is here, what if you still consume 2,000 calories and you just did a fed cardio session later in the day, still burning 300 calories? At the end of the day, the same deficit, the same amount of fat lost. So when you take that step back and you're not so zoned in and you're controlling these bigger picture variables, it doesn't matter when you do your cardio. 300 calories, whenever it was, you'll still burn the same amount of fat. And the other picture you got to look at is, okay, I'm pretty sure if I've now eaten before I do cardio, I could probably burn maybe 100 more calories in that session because I've got more energy because I'm fed. So then at the end of the day, you've actually burnt 400 calories instead of 300 calories. You've created a bigger deficit and you lose more fat. So this whole video is just about not giving you specific details of what you should do, but just make you think about fitness a little bit different. To take that step back and understand that, looking at bigger picture is far more important than focusing on these little nitty-gritty details that people often hone in on. So hopefully that helps with you guys. I've got plenty of resources to help you out. I'm always putting stuff on social media to help you out, but right now I've actually been doing a lot of work on getting a load of books, diet plans, meal plans, training programs, and all these things ready to give out to my email list. So if you're not part of that, make sure to either send me a message with your email or comment below with your best email address so I can hook you up and make sure you get a copy of those all for free. So if that's something that interests you, remember, check that email list below. If this video helps, it's always helpful, guys, to give it a like, give it a share, thumbs up, whatever. It's always great. And I'll see you all in my next video. Catch you then.